The first pot breaks the surface, and it's loaded. King crabs clawing through the mesh, hundreds of pounds of red gold rising from the deep. The crew moves fast. Every second the pot is swinging is a second something can go wrong.
Grab it! Lock it! Open the door! Got it! Open the door!
The door swings open and they pour out, massive Alaska king crabs, legs sprawling, claws snapping, piling up on the sorting table. Every crab gets checked, male or female, legal size or undersized. The wrong call means a fine. The right call means profit.
This one's legal, 6 inches across the carapace. Into the live tank it goes. Every keeper is money in the boat's account. On a working boat, every square foot of deck has a job. 4 men, 2 tables, 1 goal. Get these crabs sorted and get the next pot in the water. Table's almost clear!
From above, you can see the whole picture. A tiny vessel against a vast, indifferent ocean. And still, the crew keeps working. The live tank, refrigerated, oxygenated seawater pumped straight from the ocean. Every crab that goes in here stays alive until we reach port. Underneath the deck, hundreds of crabs move in the dark, alive and waiting. The live tank can hold over 40,000 pounds of crab.
Between pots, nothing stops. Gear gets coiled, boys get stacked, the next set gets ready. A good deckhand never stands still.
Rebaited and back in the water, each pot takes a new load of herring, the scent trail drifting down to 300 feet below. 40 pots in the water, stretching across 6 miles of seafloor. The captain knows every buoy, every position, every depth.
Bait makes the difference between an empty pot and a full one. Frozen herring, the king crab's weakness. They can't resist it.
The captain reads the bottom like a map. Ledges, drop-offs, temperature breaks, that's where the crabs stack up and that's where the pots go. Below deck, the engineer keeps everything moving. A blown hydraulic line during a haul means pots stuck in the water and money bleeding away. The block hauler pulls line at 300 feet per minute, from the ocean floor to the surface in under 2 minutes. The rope sings under that tension.
Catching the buoy sounds simple. In 6-foot swells with a pitching deck, it's anything but. Miss it and the whole pot has to be located again. A damaged pot is a pot that bleeds crabs. Even a small hole in the mesh means keepers walking right back out. Everything gets fixed immediately. This hole's fixed. Check the bottom. One more.
700 pounds of steel, each one. Stack them wrong and the whole tower goes overboard in a roll. Every stack is calculated, every chain doubled. After 3 days at sea, the hands go numb, then red, then raw. You stop feeling them and just keep moving. The hands know what to do. The captain runs 36-hour stretches at the wheel. The crew sleeps in shifts. Someone is always watching. The sea never goes quiet.
Feeding a crew of 6 in a rolling galley is its own kind of seamanship. Meals keep morale alive, and morale keeps the crew fishing.
The engine is the heart of this operation. 1,200 horsepower of marine diesel. Fuel cost alone runs $4,000 a day. It never gets to rest. Every buoy gets double-checked. Lose a buoy, lose a pot. Lose a pot, lose $3,000 of gear sitting 300 feet underwater with no way to find it. A clean table is a safe table. Slippery crab guts and tangled rope are how deckhands get hurt. The washdown happens after every single haul. Down it goes, 200, 300, 400 feet. The last light fades at 100 feet. By the time the pot hits the bottom, it's in total darkness and freezing cold.
A kink in the line can snap it, jam the hauler, or dump a full pot back in the water.
The barometer drops fast and the sky turns the color of a bruise. The captain reads it before the weather radio even says a word. Storm coming. 25-foot seas, the boat disappears under the wave and then fights its way back up. Every time it resurfaces, the crew exhale. In seas this big, the harness rule is absolute. No exceptions. One rogue wave and an unclipped man is just gone. The ocean doesn't give refunds.
40 degrees a roll. Everything that isn't lashed down becomes a projectile.
You hear it before you see it. A low, deep rumble that doesn't belong to the engine. Then the wall of water just appears above you. A loose pot on a rolling deck is 700 pounds of steel swinging free. It'll crush a man without hesitating. Secure it or get out of its way. Storms on the Bering Sea don't ask permission and they don't offer warnings. They arrive, they rage, and they leave on their own schedule. Never yours.
After the storm, the work continues. Bail the deck, check the gear, count the crew, all accounted for. Back to the pots.
Post-storm protocol, position check, damage report, crew status. Coast Guard gets a call or not, that's the rule.
3 pots damaged in the storm, not bad. Yeah, the team pulls them from rotation. I'll start bending this frame back into shape. Good, for the next haul.
Then the alarm, a high-pitched screech from below decks that every fisherman knows and dreads. Something in the engine room isn't right.
Shut it out! Shut it down.
The engine goes quiet and suddenly you realize how loud the ocean is. The boat begins to drift. The crew waits.
The diagnosis takes 20 minutes. Film coupling parts out the side of a Corey's album. Fixable, if they have the part. Cooling pump, 3rd shelf, starboard locker, box B. Got it. This is the one. Looks good. Let's get it installed.
An hour and 40 minutes. That's how long it takes to swap the pump, bleed the system, and get the engine ready to restart. Nobody eats, nobody stops. The diesel fires. The vibration comes back through your boots and your chest, and suddenly everything is right again. The boat breathes.
2 hours lost. Quota doesn't care. The captain recalculates the run. Fewer breaks, more hauls, push the crew harder. The math has to work. A standing meal, no time for the table. Eat fast, rest nothing. The pots are soaking and every hour they sit out there is potential money.
Full throttle. The boat pushes 12 knots through the chop, racing to get back on the pots. Every minute of fishing time counts now. The first pot up after the engine stop, and it's a bomb. Crabs stacked 3 deep, legs tangled through the mesh.
340 pounds in a single pot. A pot like this pays for its own gear cost and then some. This is what every fisherman dreams about.
When the pots are hot, the sorting table becomes a blur. Hands moving without thinking. Check, measure, toss or keep. Next one, next one, next one.
This one's a trophy, 25-pound male, legal and beautiful. In a restaurant, this animal alone would cost $400. On this boat, it's just another keeper.
Into the tank. Into the tank. Into the tank. The rhythm of a good haul. Constant, mechanical, satisfying. The count climbs with every splash.
8 pots in the string, all of them heavy. The crew doesn't stop between pots. By the time one table is clear, the next pot is already on the surface.
Every crab gets counted. Not estimated, counted. The quota is a hard number and the Coast Guard checks it. Nobody overloads a boat in these waters.
The birds always know when a haul is happening. They arrive from nowhere and surround the boat. Nature's cleanup crew, never missing a discarded scrap.
Constant seawater flows across the table during sorting, keeps the keepers alive and washes the debris overboard. Every detail is designed for efficiency.
A crab escapes the table. In an instant, a deckhand dives across the deck and catches it before it goes over the rail. Nothing gets wasted on this boat. Temperature breaks at 38 degrees Fahrenheit. That's where the crowds contract. Electronics don't lie. Move the string 800 yards east.
Coiling line is an art form on a crab boat. Too slow and it tangles on the deck. A tangle at the wrong moment can pull a man's hand through the block. Midnight haul, the world shrinks to the size of the deck lights and everything beyond is darkness. The work is the same, the cold is worse.
One straight, pull, steady now!
Icing is a real danger. Too much ice on the superstructure raises the center of gravity and a heavy boat can roll and not come back. Chip it, constantly. The block has to stay free. A frozen block seizes and the rope shreds through it. 20 minutes of de-icing saves 20 hours of lost gear. When the live tank reaches capacity, processing begins. Below deck, the team shifts from catching mode to production mode, and the 2 operations run in parallel, live to cooked in under 20 minutes.
The steam cooker runs at 212 degrees. King crab must be cooked immediately after processing to lock in the quality. Out of the cooker, bright, brilliant red. The color change from orange-brown to red is the visual signal of perfection. These crabs are restaurant ready. Splitting, cleaning, rinsing, each crab section gets inspected for quality. One bad crab can contaminate an entire shipment. Standards are absolute. King crab legs, the most valuable part of the catch. These sections will sell for $60 to $80 a pound at retail before they leave this boat. Blast freezing locks in freshness at -40 degrees Fahrenheit. Within 90 minutes, these crabs are frozen solid and their quality preserved for months. Microscopically, the water inside each muscle fiber freezes in place. Not slow, but instant. That's the difference between fresh and commercially frozen. Packed, weighed, dated, sealed. Each box is 20 pounds, marked with the lot number and processing date. The paper trail follows this crab all the way to the dinner plate.
The hold fills box by box. When it's full, the season is over. Right now, 30% capacity. The boat stays out until every shelf is packed.
After 12 hours in the processing room, your hands move without your brain. Muscle memory takes over. Your mind goes somewhere else and your hands keep working. Quality control never sleeps. Every section is visually inspected before it goes in the box. Discoloration, off smell, damaged flesh, any of these means rejection. The processing line at full capacity is a beautiful thing. Every person a link in a chain that turns a living crab into a frozen product in under an hour.
The night shift is harder. The coffee gets stale, the feet ache, the back protests. But the processor doesn't have a clock. It runs until the product runs out.
Whole frozen crabs go out in vacuum-sealed bags. Zero air, zero oxidation, maximum shelf life. These will be on a restaurant menu in Japan inside 3 weeks.
-40 in holds 1 through 3, -38 in hold 4. Engineer checks that unit next.
Teamwork isn't optional in the processor. It's the only thing that makes the speed possible. Miss a handoff and the line backs up. Trust is built in repetition. Next, the ice glaze, a thin shell of water frozen over the product. It protects against freezer burn and moisture loss during transit. This detail separates premium from average. Row upon row of premium grade A king crab. Each box is a story of cold water, hard work, and a crew that hasn't slept properly in 60 hours. Day 3 at sea and the sun comes up like an apology. Golden, quiet, beautiful. It lasts about 40 minutes before the clouds swallow it again. Enjoy it while it's there. The pot breaks the surface and everyone leans in. Heavy shadow through the water, that's a good sign. And then the mesh comes clear. Full again. From inside the crew's perspective, the deck moves, the pot swings, the brine hits your face. There's no clean angle on this. It's raw and it's real.
7 pots, 7 bombs. The kind of streak that pays for the whole trip and then some. Nobody talks. Everyone just works faster.
A big male makes a break for freedom, moving fast across the deck, heading for the scupper. The deckhand catches it 2 inches from the rail. That was a $200 escape attempt.
King crab claws can exert 100 pounds per square inch. The gloves handle it, barely. Getting pinched through a worn glove is a rite of passage on this boat.
Other boats are working the same grounds. Competitors, yes, but also partners in a way. They share weather info, safety updates, and sometimes bait. The sea makes pragmatists.
I'm at 5422 north. Crabs are stacked 4 deep. Copy that. Heading there now. New heading. Full throttle. Move the pots.
Relocation means pulling every pot in the string, steaming 15 miles, and setting them all again. 4 hours of work. But if the fish are there, 4 hours is cheap. 12 knots between strings. The boat skims the surface, burning fuel, covering ground. On a good day, everything is forward motion.
Orcas, 3 of them, moving with the current. The crew stops for exactly 90 seconds. All right, next pot location. Everyone back to work.
Fog rolls in from the west. Visibility drops to 50 yards. The radar takes over. The work continues. The ocean is always changing its terms. Between hauls, in a rare clear moment, the sky opens up. Millions of stars over the Bering Sea, so dense they look like a solid sheet of light. Then the hauler starts up again.
This is the luxury. 30 seconds of hot coffee before the next pot comes up. 30 seconds of warmth in your hands.
then back to the cold. It's enough.
Sunrise on the Bering Sea hits different when you've been awake for 20 hours. The light comes up, and for a moment it looks like the most beautiful place on earth. The hauler slows down. This pot is working it hard. The block strains. Slowly, impossibly heavy, the pot breaks the surface. The crew can't even speak.
520 pints pot! What's that on you? Wait, listen up. 520 on the dog, one pot.
Day 3, 42,000 pounds in the tank and the hold is 70% full. A quick photo because these moments are real and the work makes them worth keeping.
This is crab fishing. Not a single moment, but 10,000 moments stacked on each other. Haul, sort, store. Bait, deploy, wait. Haul, sort, store. Again.
After 200 sets, the pots get stripped down. Every hinge, every latch, every mesh connector checked. A pot that fails in 300 feet of water has just lost money.
Line inspection is slow, methodical, non-negotiable. A compromised line parts under load and a 700-pound pot disappears to the bottom.
You're fraying here, mark it.
Every ring matters. One missing connector creates a gap, and a gap becomes an exit. King crabs are relentless problem solvers. They'll find any weakness. Herring bait, 3 to 4 pounds per pot, cut fresh for every set. Stale bait catches nothing. Fresh bait catches everything. Never compromise the bait. 20 bait bags ready, one for each pot in the next string. Fill them tight, tie them right, and the scent trail does all the work 300 feet below.
The hydraulic system runs every minute the boat is fishing. Check the fluid twice daily, bleed the lines every morning. A dead hydraulic system is a dead fishing operation. Between strings, the crew drills the deployment sequence. 3 seconds faster per pot means 120 seconds saved per string. On a crab boat, 2 minutes is money. Whoa, hold it, reset. Core temperature check, minus 38 Fahrenheit throughout. The product is perfect. The log is updated and signed. The chain of custody never breaks.
Safety checks aren't the most exciting 5 minutes on a crab boat. They might be the most important. Everything checked, everything signed, everything ready.
Grease it, tension it, test the brake. Skip the maintenance and it'll fail at the worst possible moment. The live tank pump is life support for 40,000 pounds of crab. If it fails, the tank dies. If the tank dies, the whole catch dies. This pump gets checked every 6 hours.
The second storm hits harder than the forecast predicted. 30-foot seas, 50-knot winds. The captain calls all non-essential crew below. Hatches shut. Hold on. The ocean is in charge right now. Completely, absolutely. The boat is just trying to stay intact. The captain fights for heading. 1 degree at a time. Below decks in a 30-foot sea, you don't sleep. You brace. The bunk becomes a survival tool. You hold on and trust the boat and try to breathe slowly.
When the storm passes, you don't celebrate, you assess. What moved, what broke, what's missing. All hands on deck, systematic inspection top to bottom. Equipment secured, you bring clear. Cracked weld on the pot launcher. How bad is it? Serious enough that using it could fail the whole mechanism. 2 hours to weld it or go home. Do it.
Welding at sea, the boat moves, the weld moves with it. The engineer compensates intuitively. A field weld isn't pretty, but it's strong. Strong is all that matters.
Test cycle. The launcher runs clean, the weld holds.
Back in business. Let's go find some crabs.
Back on the grounds. Everything fixed, everyone accounted for, quota still to hit. The boat doesn't dwell, it moves. Forward is the only direction that counts. The final string. 60 hours of sea, 2 storms, an engine crisis, and a weld repair, and now this. The crew hauls in perfect silence. No wasted movement, no wasted words. 14 pots. Every single one a winner. The captain keeps a running total on the whiteboard in the wheelhouse. The number climbing. The hold nearly full.
That's 14, keep them coming!
62,000 pounds. The quota hit, the hold full, the crew intact. The captain circles the number twice and says nothing for a moment. That says everything. The last pot in the water. It's already soaking for the next crew, the next trip, the next season. The ocean gives to those who keep coming back. The last box sealed, the hold door closed. The weight of it, the finality, hits everyone differently. Some laugh, some just sit down. All of them are exhausted.
62,000 pounds of king crab, grade A, en route. Copy that, dock stays firm. All right, let's blast this deck clean. Hose it down, I'll squeegee right behind you. Look at that shine. Almost done. Ha, good work. Fish is done, boys.
All right, dig in, everyone. It's hot. Smells incredible. Been waiting for this. You outdid yourself, Cook. Aye, just what we needed. Best meal in days.
The harbor. The boat slows. The engine drops to idle for the first time in 3 days. The sound of it, of quiet, is more beautiful than anything on the water. Line on the dock. The boat stops moving. 60 hours of ocean, and here we are. A wooden pier and solid ground. For a moment, everyone just stands still.
The live tank opens and the dock crew moves in fast. Braille net after braille net of live crabs into the weigh bins. Every pound counts at this stage. 55 pounds! 61,840 pounds live weight.
The official weigh-in. The captain watches every number like a hawk. It's a strong delivery. The frozen product comes off in pallets. The processing work done at sea now moving seamlessly into the cold chain on land. Not a minute of quality is lost. The buyer inspects everything. Temperature, color, texture, documentation. Grade A certified. The check gets cut. The trip becomes official.
Crew share day. No salary on a crab boat. Everyone works on percentage. 3 days of brutal work and the envelope is thick. It's a good trip. Very good trip.
From above, it's a whole ecosystem. 1 boat, 6 crew, 20 dock workers, 3 trucks, 2 buyers, and a chain that stretches to restaurant tables across the world. The product leaves the dock and the fishing story ends. The truck carries it forward, to airports, to cold storage, to restaurants, to someone's dinner table. The ocean's work is done. 62,000 pounds, 3 days, 2 storms, 1 engine failure, 6 crew members, all home safe. The Bering Sea takes everything you have, and if you give it enough, it gives back.